Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're all doing well. Got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So, I want to share with you guys just some thoughts that I just been thinking about this morning, last night, since the tournament ended. For those that have been following and been watching, my team had a 2-day tournament, Dallas Open, IBJJF, Saturday, Sunday. Started at 9:30, ended about 6:30 both days. Had about 50 competitors or so from my team, just from my team, along with all the other great teammates from Lead BJJ, the affiliates from around Texas and the rest of the country, stuff like that. But being exposed is what the thought process is. It's just kind of the afterthoughts from the tournament is just all these things that I was able to be a part of over the weekend, over 2 days of just hours and hours and hours of competition. And for some of my students, I kind of know what the reaction would be because I've coached them before. And then I've had a lot of new students for the first time ever go out and compete. And so I got to see their reactions to wins and losses and stuff like that, along with many other things like the stuff that we need to work on, me as a coach, so I'll start off with that. Like there was just, no matter how much effort, I try to put into my program, my students, there's always going to be something to work on. And that's why I like for my students to come out and compete. I wish they would compete more often, but at least twice a year when the Dallas Open comes, because it's the most important tournament for us. And so I try to rally the troops, get as many students as possible to compete, because it helps me as a coach see what's wrong and what's right. What the things that I've been coaching on, see if they're working, and then see what I've been missing. And so I got to see a lot of that. I was exposed. Okay, I was exposed over the weekend on a lot of weaknesses, and that's great because that's just going to make me, as of today, I already started with the 6 a.m. class at Coach KJ this morning, just start on what we need to work on. Coach Danielle is there right now as we speak, working on the things that we were missing at the tournament. The weakness that we were having at the tournament is actually being worked on with the students right now, because class is going on. As soon as we finish, as soon as I'm done here, I'm on my way to go train. And then tonight with the students, same thing. Just working on just changing up the curriculum and going back to the problem areas that need to be fixed. We were exposed this past weekend, had a lot of really good things and a lot of things that just, some simple things that we can fix, but we just need to address those issues and get those fixed. So me as a coach, I got to see a lot of that and, talk to some of the other coaches and be like, yeah, this is what we really need to just focus on over the next couple of weeks or even months to make the team better. So we were exposed. It's great stuff. Competition is really good. That's why I try to get as many students to go out and compete, because it really helps with the improvement. Without failure, there's just no progress. We have to fail. We have to go out there and see and test to see what's working and what's not working. So it's like pulling teeth, trying to get students to try and step up and compete. Anxiety, the fear of losing, the fear of this, fear of that, they're in their own head and just whatever. And so, we should have had more, like twice as many, because our academy is so big. We should at least had 100 students, but I got 50, but close to 50. So it was good. And so on the other side of that, we have some students that I got to see who they really are, and what they need to work on besides their jiu-jitsu game, who they need to work on character-wise, because there were some students that, when they lost, they didn't take it very well. And, you should never really take losing like it's not a big deal, like, oh, who cares, but it should sting, it should burn, it should bother you, it should piss you off, it should make you angry, but not to the point where you're kind of out of character. You don't want to shake hands with your coach or maybe the other opponent, or you don't want to talk to no one. I know I've just had to let some students just go and breathe it out and get some space, and just let them, you can just see like, all right, just let them go do what they got to go do, because there's no talking to them right now, because they're not going to listen and they don't really look like they want to be bothered, but that needs to change. That needs to change. Like, as soon as you walk off the mat, you should have some gratitude that you got a chance to go out and compete and got a chance to see, what was working and what was not working and what we need to get fixed. Because even though it sucks, your opponents actually help you. They're helping you. They're exposing your weaknesses and your strengths. And so you get to, like, you should thank them for those losses. Like, at first, it doesn't feel good, doesn't taste good. But I know all the losses I've had, like my jiu-jitsu would never improve if I didn't get beat and had the losses that I had, or the way I lost, the decision making that I made in the tournament, somewhere in the match, where I like made a mistake. Like I'm thankful for that, because it led me to like better victories in the more important tournaments, in the future, stuff like that. So, I got to see how some people reacted, and we need to fix those things. So I'm gonna talk to those students, when I see them. I had talked to some students when I was there afterwards. Like, one student I told, I was like, hey, if you would have won, you would stick around and you would be happy and you'd be wearing that medal, around your neck, the gold medal. But you lost, and now you're acting kind of pouty and you're not handling it too well. You like, and you want to leave and you don't want to stick around. Like, I had quite a few students do that. When they lost, they just jetted. Like, they didn't care about the rest of the team. They didn't say, hey, coach, I got to get to work, or hey, I got to, I've already had this prior engagement with my family. I got to be here at a certain time. I came out and competed when I could, but I got to leave. It was just like that defeat was so bad that they just didn't, they got selfish and they didn't care about the rest of the team to stick around and support. They just wanted to leave. Like, I know I felt that way in the past, but I didn't leave because I got teammates to help and to cheer on and stuff like that. There's been times where like I've lost and Danielle won, and I got to stick around because I got to coach, I got to coach her, I got to forget about what happened and go and focus and be a coach and be a supporter and help her get her victory, versus like, oh man, like I lost, so I don't care, I'm gonna leave, you're on your own, kind of thing. I had some students that took the loss very well. Actually had a couple losses, lost on Saturday, came back, lost on Sunday, and then had to fight, actually lost to the same opponent, and then came back and had to fight this person a third time, and then beat that person on the third match to go on into the finals, and then go on and choke out the guy in the finals and then win. So after two silvers Saturday and then early Sunday morning, this individual kept his composure, and I told him, like, hey, third time's a charm, man. Like, we just gotta get back out there, man. And just because he's just losing, he's just getting edged out, but it still sucks. He still lost. He got two silvers, and now he's got to find out he's got to fight this guy again in the last division of the day. And he was able to compose himself, pull himself together, keep it cool and focus. And he went out there and beat this guy on the third time, and then went into the finals and then won, and then ended the day with a gold medal. So I got to see, that was exposed, like, hey, this person can handle losing. And not only can they handle losing, but they were able to recover from that pretty fast and just not let it get to them, and then go out and win. Where I've had some students, like I said, they lost, and as soon as they lost, they're like, all right, coach, I gotta go. Or they didn't even tell me they were leaving, they just left. And I'm like, hey, where's so-and-so at? They just left. Or didn't even show up the next day to support their teammates and stuff like that. So, who are you through adversity? When the tough times hit, I heard that recently, and I also read that, like, your true self comes out through adversity. Like, when things aren't going well, things aren't going right. When things are going right, like right now, the sun shining and the skies are blue and really no clouds in the sky, and things are going well, like, oh man, yeah, life is great, right? Like, you're like, but that's not who you really are. Your true self is like your exposure. You're being exposed like when things are hard for you, when things are tough. And because I listen to stuff like that and I hear stuff like that, that keeps me in check. Because I know, in the past when things weren't going well, man, I just wouldn't handle stress very well. I wouldn't handle things the way I handle them now. And I handle them a lot better because I listen to stuff like that. I don't want to be out of character like that. Like, oh man, like Alvarez can't handle a loss. Like Alvarez, we lost we lost quite a bit of matches this over the weekend. You still gotta shake the coach's hand. You still gotta congratulate the other opponent that beat your student, and and keep it cool. I know, like, for instance, when we got our trophies on the medal podium, on Saturday we got the first place trophy. So, like, it's just common courtesy that you just turn to the left and right and shake the second and third place people's hands and tell them, nice work, congrats, and that's all the coaches do that. But then on Sunday we lost by a few points and we took second place. And, immediately I was shaking hands with the first place coaches and try to shake hands with the third place coach. But the third place coaches just walked off the medal podium and didn't shake the first place coach's hand or my hand either. They just took the trophy and just walked off, which is totally, it just shows the character again. Like, but if you took first place, if they would have took first place, they'd be hugging. They'd probably pull us up on the first spot podium, put their arms around us and hug us. But they lost. They took third place, so they didn't shake anyone's hands. They didn't shake the coach's hand, and that stuff is exposed. That stuff is, you're watching, and someone's always watching. So, like, you have to think about that. So who are you when times are tough and things aren't going your way and you lose and you're feeling down and out? Like the exposure is there. Like, you're like, that's your true self. And the good thing about it is you can fix that. Like, you can fix those character flaws and get those under control and be a better person because of it. So that's the beauty of it. But it's also a bad look in the beginning. Like, there's times where, like, I'd get a bad call on the ref decision, and I knew I won a match, and I'd make a post, I'd go on Facebook, and I'd be like, this, that, whatever, and I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm like, it doesn't help. It's not going to change the outcome of the match. They're not going to take the gold medal off the other guy's neck and send it to me, or go to his house and get it and send it to me. I lost. I didn't do what I was supposed to do, or maybe I did, and I just got some home cooking from the refs or whatever. Sometimes that does happen, and it is what it is. And I used to post stuff like that, and I would just and I regret doing stuff like that. So now, like, I lose, I come up short. Like, I don't say anything if it's a bad call or anything like that. It's just a loss. It's an L, and I just got to keep it moving and then just go on to the next one. I don't put sorry to my students, or sorry. Like, you only should say sorry if you didn't put in the work. Like, I put in the work. Like, there's no stone unturned when I'm ready to compete. Like, when I go out and compete, everything is done. Everything. And I would only have to say sorry if I didn't do everything I was supposed to do. So just kind of keep that in mind too. You got those people that's like, oh, I'm sorry that I didn't do whatever. Like you shouldn't apologize if you put in the work. You're gonna lose at some point, but if you didn't put in the work, then you should say sorry to everyone, because that's a lack of respect for your teammates and your coaches for not doing what you're supposed to do. And that just takes me into this last one before I leave, is I got to see a lot of students with lack of discipline, and they were exposed. Like, a lot of people didn't make weight. They came in overweight. They weren't prepared. They didn't have the right uniforms, this, that, whatever. It was pretty bad for it puts a lot of stress on me, because it's like, man, we're here to coach, and we're waiting for you to go out and display all this hard work, and then you can't even beat the scale. And that hurts the team, that hurts you, that hurts the student, because they paid and now they can't compete. And then the team is also hurt because we don't get any points from it. So I got students in the past, when they lost, they don't come back to jiu-jitsu. Like, I literally had a student was gone for over a month, and when he came back, I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, you got sick, or you went out of town, you're on vacation, work sent you out of town, or what's the deal? He was like, no, I didn't like the fact that I lost. And so I was like, you didn't come back for over a month because you lost the jiu-jitsu tournament? Like, that just shows, what's that say about you? It's a grown man, supposedly, and that's what cracks me up about some people, because they're a certain age, 20 something, 25, 28, 30, 35, 40. Well, you know, I'm a man. Like, well, you're a man by like age, but are you acting like one? You know, are you really acting like one? Are you really one? You lost a tournament and you haven't been back in over a month, or you're gonna cry and you're gonna throw a fit because you lost a jiu-jitsu match. How about you get your stuff together and act like a man, act like a real competitor, a real athlete, and just get back to work as soon as possible. Get back on Monday like you should. But I always have those ones that always disappear because they lost, you know. Character flaws, just to show and expose their true self. So it's just a message for everyone out there. You go out and compete, I think you should compete, because it really shows you who you really are inside when things don't go well. When things are going great and you win, you want to hug everyone, high five everyone, you want to talk to one, you want to walk around the tournament with the rest of the day with the gold medal around your neck. But when you lose, I mean, I actually had a student, a really good one, at one time, like a leader in the school, take his bronze medal off and throw it in the trash in front of everyone right at the medal podium. I mean, it was disgusting. I mean, it was a bad moment, you know, and that person has to live with that, you know, that so many people got to see a huge character flaw like that. So you don't want to be that guy, that girl that does that, you know. So competition will expose you. It's a magnifying glass times 1,000 on what you need to work on, what went well, and then like who you really are inside. So to all my competitors out there, keep it cool. You know, when you lose, hug your coaches, high five your teammates that are there just along the barricades, cheering for you, waiting for you to hug you even after you lost. Doesn't taste good, doesn't feel good. It shouldn't, but you shouldn't treat your coach funny and your teammates funny, you know, and not want to talk to anyone. You know, it's not a good look. It's just not a good look. And I had to deal with that, you know, this past weekend, and actually just recently, not that long ago, where, you know, like I had a student get armbarred in a tournament, and I went to check on him afterwards, and, you know, they looked me right in the face and just walked away. And I'm like, well, I didn't armbar you, man. Like, I didn't do that to you. Like, you went the wrong way. You didn't listen to my directions, and you got caught. I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm the first one here to check on you as soon as you walk out of the bullpen, and then you just act like that towards me, you know. But, you know, again, character flaws, exposure. So, you know, you go out there, which you should, if and when you lose, because you will at some point, you know, lose with some class, you know, because it's not a good look. And take it from someone where, like I said, I've posted some things before, posted a video, ref decision, and I should have did the ref should have did blah blah blah, like, and I shouldn't have did that, and I won't do that again, because it's just not a good look, and it's not going to change the outcome. So anyways, running behind, you guys have a great Monday, get after it, and we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you.